Hello guys and welcome back to Field of Glory with our first ever playthrough here as Saba. It is turn 10, the year 301 BC. We've finally taken our first other location. We fought quite the hefty siege for it, but it's pretty valuable and it's ours now. We're preparing to expand more because the Arabians to our north have been going into all these unclaimed lands and taking, basically nothing. But still, this hurts their decadence quite a bit to expand so rapidly and take over all this stuff. But my decadence is hurt as well, especially now that I've progressed to a glorious monarchy here. We are a glorious nation, meaning we have this loyalty bonus. That's going to help keep things together, but our decadence has gone up so much that we're not in the best of situations, if I would say so myself. We have like a 2 ratio. It's gone way down due to a mixture of things, the age, penalty, structures, nation size, just in general. Also, I think right here, look at this, accumulated decadence 6.64, decadence per turn, nation size 0.3, coming from structures like the perfumery and the slave market. I don't know why perfumes do such a thing, but yeah, they create decadence, which is not great, and some of it gets worsened by the fact that this is under pacification, which has 3 more turns left on it. But for right now, we're in a good enough position that it shouldn't kill us. Now, our legacy bonuses, our legacy is starting to go up better over time. Carthage apparently is in the lead for legacy? That's absolutely insane. They were tied with us a moment ago. They're up to 129 all of a sudden. Where the hell did you get all that? They must have done something that granted it to them. I'm not sure. But they're over there. They're not really our problem anytime soon. That's another reason I picked Saba, so we could just be in our own little corner of the world. We have like a couple units that are maybe not perfectly ready for combat, but it should be fine if we go and proceed on our next target now rather than waiting. Especially if we're only going up against 6 units. We have so many skirmishers, we'll probably just slaughter them anyway. Wow, these areas have developed way more units. It used to be 4, now it's 8 that they defend with. That's kind of crazy. 8, 4, some of them are still 4 up there. But I'm gonna go after this. This is our next target. This will also maybe get us like a port. I think that's what this is. This little symbol right here looks like a port to me. And this might allow us to start trading with maybe Ethiopia or somebody who's currently getting their asses beat. But we'll go ahead and we will proceed over that way. We do have a good amount of money. We do have manpower generating, but we don't actually have a lot. I don't want to recruit any more skirmishers at the moment. I feel like we have enough, especially considering cavalry or skirmishers as well. We need normal infantry or heavy infantry. One of those. So for now, we're fine. We have our production underway. Infrastructure is going. I have a stockpile of 54 fucking... Oh, yeah, because it adds up before it gets consumed. That's right. I don't think there's anything else to really do this turn. So let's go ahead and proceed to the next turn. We will go and try to claim a neutral location. There will be no siege for this one, but a battle. They have 6 units. They're very weak. Let's see how this goes. We have way more skirmishers than they do. They're all tired or exhausted now. Heavy infantry slaughtering their warriors. Our regular infantry slaughtering their cavaliers. Our cavaliers engaging their urban militia, which get finished off by more cavaliers on the flank. Our warriors going forward and slaughtering their warriors. Regular infantry, all supported, by the way, by skirmishers, engaging them. Wiped out their urban militia, a pursuit, and it finishes off the last one of their skirmishers, and that was a nice, easy battle. Way worse quality units than the actual nation had. And we didn't gain very much, only 2 population and more territory that will add to our decadence. But this will allow my military to grow better. Our ranking went up a little bit. And being that it's another objective, it brought our age back down again. I still haven't used this. It's here for only 2 more turns. I have like 1 more turn before I can really put it off, before I have to use it. Now, I have seen that the Arabians do have an objective on us. If I go into diplomacy, I see they're wary of me and I can see that their objectives, 2 of them are on my territory. Otherwise, they have 1 here, and they have 1 here. And I knew they would have 1 here, right? They're going to try to come in this direction, which is not exactly what I want, unfortunately. So we did get a progress token, which is very, very nice. Probably from taking an objective. And we've marked a new objective, Ethiopia. I don't want to take Ethiopia. I want to be their friends. I would like to be their friends. And we're still waiting on a response from them, though. We're going to have to fight those damn Arabians eventually. That's basically just guaranteed. They're in our way, as it stands. Thankfully, decadence hasn't gotten too much worse with this new thing we've taken over. Rank change this turn. Since we're still on the upper kind of half for, all this culture stuff, we're doing all right. At some point, we might want to, have some dudes just making culture. We do have a harbor. Yeah, baby. I don't know if this means we could recruit naval units. We can, a light warship, and we can make African war elephants here, which interestingly, I've looked into these, and they're kind of like heavy infantry, but they're all offensive rather than defensive, and they're a lot cheaper in the long run than heavy infantry are. So they don't really work like I would think they would work, but it's just kind of a cheap way for nations here to have something similar to heavy infantry. And the more of them you have, the more they begin to cost, which is something to keep in mind. Manpower right now is our biggest concern. We healed all the damage from that last battle rather rapidly. This is now under pacification as well. This is some rapid expansion, as it would seem. I don't think anything's really stopping us from, say, going over here and doing this. With only 2 population, we don't have a lot of options when it comes to anything that we do here. We do have growth in 1 turn, which is nice. And that will allow more building slots and whatnot. We do have more building slots up here. Where did we get so much population? Where did we get all of this population? What the hell happened? I don't know. Well, we got 1 slave after the battle here. 1 unit was generated. And so I guess, I feel like still there's 1 more here than I expect there to be here. Regardless, that's pretty nice. We do have 2 more building slots to use. We do have that next slave. Organizing this stuff is so annoying, honestly. I do wonder if this like caps out over here. It probably does. What are we going to build next? I can build an upgraded cavalry location. It's a national wonder? Is that really what this is? Maybe it's just a similar image. A national wonder needs horses, which we have. It gives equipment. Skirmisher cavalry training. Oh, so like cameleers. That's useful. Horseman train gathering here. Improved. Okay. Is this an upgrade path? No, that's not an upgrade path for the cavalry. So that's really weird. I don't really understand what that is. Since I have lumber, something I can actually do is spend like a permanent 3 infrastructure generation on a land expansion, which opens up another building slot. That would be nice. That would be nice, yeah. Or we could make this Amphora Fabrica, which would generate money at the cost of food and infrastructure. That's actually not too bad either. I think I'm gonna go for the land expansion for right now. It's not too bad. We make plenty of other stuff here, and I can go pretty heavily into the infrastructure we generate. The food is still carrying itself with these other buildings and whatnot. Culture, again, is something we might want to look at. As of right now, our current culture and historical culture are doing pretty well against our decadence, but as we get bigger, it's going to be harder and harder to maintain that. And places like this don't even have, look at this, we don't even really have the ability to do very much. We barely make enough infrastructure. I am helping produce some here. I don't know if that'll really be enough in the long run, but the public works is coming along. We will have to wait here, unfortunately, as it is. There's more population already at this location, which is nice, I suppose. And there's many others we can go to that have things like settled oases. That's pretty interesting. Welcome haven for nomad peoples. That's kind of cool. And this develops olive oil. Interesting. Okay. There's a lot of trade to this game that I'm not really showing off. You can see what we manufacture, what is natural to the location in basically every single individual location. And then there's like imports as well that can happen. But again, I don't think we're trading with anybody because we don't border anybody. But I think we will potentially. Now that we own this, maybe not. Maybe we have to have a certain cooperation with them first or whatever. I wish I knew what this little symbol here meant. I don't see anything about that. Again, these objectives will go away with time, but for right now, we're hopefully catching up. So let's go ahead and end our turn and move into turn 12 here. This is definitely a lot smoother than other Age-Odd games, man. This is surprising. It's refreshing, in fact. Let's view the battle. They have Arabic Cameleers. How is that different from a normal Cameleer? Skirmishers, Urban Militia, it's very bad stuff. Our skirmishers did a lot of really nice damage. Oh yeah, our heavy infantry are just amazing in battle, but they can't besiege, which is a problem. Only like regular infantry that I've seen, like medium infantry, that kind of stuff, can besiege. And so you do need a lot of them, even if they're not as good in battles. You can assist them with cavalry, or combine them with other things. Heavy infantry are just ridiculously expensive. We lost nothing, took a little bit of injuries on our Cameleer. I decided not to recruit anything just yet because the manpower is just, it's not really very high. So, I still don't know what the maximum manpower is. All right, so this expires next turn, so we have to use this at this point. this decision. Now, looks like there's already been a lot of conversion, because there's very few places where we don't have, you know, everyone the right culture. But I don't know. I could use it to erase our age a little bit, but we don't have a lot of age, so that almost seems kind of wasteful. 10% chance per government commerce. We also don't have a lot of things to convert, so it's also very There's also a chance to lose a progress token if I try to get rid of the age that way, so that's another problem. We only have one progress token, and honestly, I feel like the sooner maybe we get to Empire, the better. I don't know, we get a culture bonus. I have no idea what that means. We would lose the Glorious Nation bonus, but we would lose... status age reduction. Oh, you status age reduction just by swapping over. But we wouldn't have to worry about status age if we make it there. It's not really like a short-term concern, I guess. It's not really a short-term concern. It's more of a long-term concern. This little tree of things. If we become a young empire, which can then become a stable empire. This is my favorite place to be, I think, actually. Not even the glorious, but it's like, it's supposed to be something you have to balance. So, taking this objective gave me another token. And a new objective has been placed up here. Yeah. Basically saying, go for your neighbors, fuckface. Conquered this. They rejected our offer again, because of course they did. Damn it, Ethiopia. I just want to be your damn friend, but you're losing relations with me over time. 17% chance, that's better, because I'm a glorious nation. And I have objectives on them. Let's see. I can relinquish objectives on them, which would grant me bargain points if they accept it. I don't really care to have these tokens on them because I don't want to attack that stuff. I could attack that stuff. I don't want to attack that stuff. I think these just get generated like for free anyway, sort of. And right now they're also just kind of getting their asses beat by Nubia, so I don't think I care to befriend them too much if I don't even know if they're going to survive. So I'll just keep trying for cooperation by itself. 17% chance is a better chance. I don't think we have any chance of that with anybody else. No, we really don't. We're too far from Nubia. They don't really care. As a wise ruler, leave a larger kingdom they inherited. Perhaps you should abdicate in favor of someone more competent. Can you even do that? Oh, we've gone up 11 years in age. This goes pretty quickly. I will just try to do the easiest potential way to convert motherfuckers. That's what we're going to take. I don't think I could do 2 of these at once. No, only 1. So we'll do the minor grant citizenship to try to convert some dudes over. I think that would be pretty handy. Arabia really doesn't like us because they have objectives on us. So a lot of your soldiers in a battered state. Is that true? Look, you don't know shit, buddy. They're friends with the Nabateh up above them. And it doesn't look like any of the big boys have kind of imploded yet. Rome is expanding like crazy. What a surprise. And if we do, I guess, look at the diplomacy, we see the Seleucids are at war on all sides with literally everybody. Egypt is at war with quite a lot as well. And Rome is in a couple wars as well, yeah. The Arabians do keep expanding into the desert. I do wonder what their stats are. So they do only have 19 pops, and like half of them are slaves. They have 20 land power and 10 naval power. And for us, we have 75 land power, meaning if we did attack them by land, we would actually stand a fair chance. I could wait and try to recover before we attack again. Our effectiveness is quite low, but I am afraid of them stepping over here. Not that that would necessarily be the end of the world. Maybe it would be good to sit back, chill out, that kind of thing. I don't know where these guys get their food from. Just locally, I guess, food usage. Food usage from population. I don't know if any of that is from these guys. Probably give them a turn just to recover at the very least. We do need to make something new here. I don't think we really need a stables. What can be made here? Nothing impressive. Really nothing quite impressive, unfortunately. Our army is stronger than the Arabians from what I could tell. They have a navy, but I don't think it would actually help them against us. And they're our main threat, honestly. There's all these other guys up here to maybe concern ourselves with, but they're okay with us. If we boarded them, they might stop being okay with us. it's going to be a weird balancing game. So they have a shepherd house here and a blacksmith. Blacksmith is missing iron and copper to make the most of it. It is already here, so I might as well leave it be. I can make a worship palace using myrrh and frankincense, of which I have, to generate loyalty and culture. That could be really, really useful. Really, really useful. I could also make an expert stonecutter, but we don't really have marble to utilize it all too well. It's a hemp field and an anchorage. An anchorage has no slot usage, allows boarding and disembarking without loss of effectiveness, but at a slow pace. Provides some income and costs no building slot. Oh. Doesn't allow production of any ship. I mean, this is still pretty cool, actually. Some money, siege resist, boarding cost. Does this not have something like that? It's an upgrade of the anchorage. Oh, okay. Provides income and extra manpower. Draws in sailors looking for work. Actually, that's probably the best thing to make for right now then, as a base, although the worship place does look very useful for managing our culture, which we need more and more of as time goes on here. Let's go for the anchorage first. I feel like that's probably a pretty good idea. We do want someone making culture. Money is not as important to me right now. Infrastructure is maybe more important. I'll put all the slaves on infrastructure. I'll put a citizen over here on this. This is weird. I keep organizing this kind of differently. Just swap these around. I like leaving the slaves on infrastructure when possible. We have one more turn until land expansion is done here. One turn until we get another pop. Next few months will be harsh for men and crops, but I haven't seen anything, you know, implode over here yet, at least. Can move the citizen off of food. We're making enough food for right now. We just produce the citizen right now. We could make a shepherd house to make more food. We're kind of starting from scratch over here on what we can do. Same thing with, like, we can make an expert stonecutter. That's a stable. I feel like a lot of this isn't really that useful. Horatian Tribune. That's really weird. A garum shop, which can sell stuff like fish, salt, food, but we don't really have any of that stuff, so it wouldn't really be too handy for us. The only thing remotely handy to us here, I suppose, would be a shepherd's house. That, or we just reset the available options. I'll just get started on the shepherd house. And that has something building in every single location that we have. I'm going to put one of these guys on culture so we can start getting it cultured. Although, that will make building take a very long time. So maybe for now, until we get more pops, this is the best thing to do as like a long-term investment of sorts. As you may remember, the thing we're lacking the most of is regular infantry for besieging, or even just as a front line, so heavy infantry counts. Skirmishers can take that role, but they are better off not taking that role. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 skirmishers, which is good frontage, I've seen. A lot of the time tends to be 8, and you want a similar amount of skirmishes, though the sides are usually made up of, like, cavalry, which is where our cavaliers come in handy, where they can kind of flank and support all by themselves. We only have 4 frontline infantry, though. We would want at least 2 more minimum in this army, right, for how this is going. So let's go ahead and just recruit another regular infantry. Wow, but maybe not right here. 4 turns? Okay, I'll just recruit it back at base. Yeah, we don't have enough equipment anywhere else to really pump that out. And in fact, I could pump out 3 of them. I have so much fucking equipment. However, we don't have the manpower to actually maintain that all in one. However, yeah, maybe it would go under. That kind of concerns me that it would actually go under. I'm only going to do 1 for now because it's going to consume as well. And so I just want to get those going. You know, the warriors. I don't know if I should ever really replace these in order to become more manpower efficient. I feel like they would just die eventually no matter what, especially if I repurpose them. I'll keep them for now because making stuff is pretty damn expensive. Our generals' bonuses seem to be helping them quite a bit as well. I don't know, this might just also be partially like experience, right? There's different values. So yeah, I think they have experience just from fighting so many battles and sieges. That would probably come in handy in a war as well. For right now, we're going to take a turn where we're peaceful, let these pacifications, one of them hopefully maybe end. Yeah, one of them will finally end. That'll be nice. And then just kind of hold our own. Build a new infantry unit. Don't go on any more offensives to take anything else just yet. It's 299 BC, fair weather. And we are doing a pretty decent job. We have assigned our choice in this decision. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Got a progress token from taking this over. We don't take an insane amount of slaves yet. I haven't gotten any decisions to buy slaves. But for now, all is acceptable. I'd love to build a wall in proper Saba. That option hasn't come up yet. I hope it does soon. We're number 35. We don't want to be in, like, I don't know, the second half here, which maybe is like the red. There's like tiers here. 3 tiers or so. You don't want to be in the red tier because that tier is aging. And aging is very bad. We're in the second tier, and that's fine, I guess. It could be better. Alright, army operations. You can cancel short movement of an army by right-clicking on its current region or its planned path. Yes, dude, it's so similar to old Age-Odd games, but it's like with a paradox coat of paint. We're number 6 for legacy ranking right now. That's pretty nice for how small we are, right? Carthage, Antigonids, and the Seleucids, and then the Egyptians are the highest. What a surprise. We're higher than Rome right now. New decision, emergency levy. Receive extra troops at your capital for a cost of legacy points. I cannot even activate it though because we don't have enough legacy. And our ratio of troops percent power is at least equal to 200 of enemy troops. So we have to be outnumbered by enemies. Well, we're not going to be doing this then. That's just going to go away. Saba's granted citizenship to some foreigners. That should be pretty nice. Yeah, at least right here is fully desertic if it wasn't already. I don't really know where else that changed anything, to be fair. I probably need more in the way of farmers here. Yeah, 44 to 9 growth. That's probably pretty important. It'll put off building the anchorage, but that's okay. Growth in 7 turns, building in 4 turns. It'll bring more food. Public works done in 1 turn, growth in 12 turns. That's good. This guy is yellow. Why is he yellow? What does yellow mean? I don't know what yellow means. Red means unrest, clearly. Maybe it's just it's a different rating of unrest. I don't really know what's contributing to unrest, honestly. I haven't the foggiest clue. But he's a little unresty. Maybe health has something to do with that. I don't know, but we finished that building. We did some land expansion. So that's pretty nice. We have a lot of infrastructure left over still. And now we can do something else. There's a lot of fairly decent options here, and we have a bunch of building slots. For example, a charcoal pile could take the lumber we're making and turn it into coal, generating infrastructure and money. That does sound pretty useful. Then there's also this castrum equadium to allow for skirmisher cavalry, but I think our cameleers are fine enough for right now. Infrastructure and money does sound nice. I'll go ahead and take these things. And that would be done in pretty much 1 turn. This guy is probably new, and that's probably why he's in this slot. I can move this other citizen down to infrastructure just to, continue to speed up building. This place doesn't have a lot of positive money overall, but we are still positive on money from a mixture of regional commerce, taxation. I don't know that we're actually trading with anyone. It's something of note. I know we can be. But I don't believe we are. I don't believe we're trading with anybody yet. As of this point, this guy, we're good to go. So we can go ahead and move this way, where there's going to be 8 units waiting for us. 8 units, but not good ones. And I can also move there at the same time. However, they might not arrive at the same time. However, this seems further than that, so I'm willing to take a chance to actually get there in time. I could also just, I think, right-click like this, and then he'll just go try to meet up anyway, no matter what, just as time goes on. That could also probably work. We'll probably just take the chance on this for right now. I'll change it if I feel like it's dumb. There's new population in Saba. Land exchange expansion has been completed. And nothing new other than that. We also have enough manpower to pump out another regular infantry, which would bring us maybe more up to where I want us to be. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, definitely closer at the very least. So I will recruit another regular infantry. Just 1. We don't need to worry too much about equipment at this point, just to keep this army kind of going. Our progress decadence is doing okay, but that ratio is getting worse and worse and worse as we expand. So we're going to start running into some issues with expanding. At some point, we could try to potentially do like maybe pillaging. Pillaging is a thing. I don't know. I think there's raiding, but I think only barbarians might be able to do it. At some point, we might need to just stop expanding and then just build up exclusively. We'll see how it goes. But for now, let's end our turn moving into 298, 297 BC, one of those. And we've arrived with everybody, it seems. Just perfectly on time. That's incredible. I didn't think that would happen. We see a couple of the Arabians up there. Interesting. And here's what's defending right here. It's hard to put your mouse over them unless you use the banners. 2 different groups. Kind of weird. But they have 8 units with a combat power of 29 to our 118. Let's go ahead and start the battle. What do they have? Some skirmishers, warriors, Arabic cavaliers, skirmishers, warriors, urban militia. Nothing amazing. Truly nothing amazing. That skirmish went very well for us. Our heavy infantry always wins the day. Very poor rolls for them. Their leadership is crap because they don't really have a leader. We're hitting them in the back from the flanks. Nice. I like the cavaliers right now because they're like medium infantry, but they're very versatile. And since they're, you know, still skirmishers, they can actually evade damage they're supposed to take. And then with enough skirmishers, that kind of helps as well. As we see, we might even have room for another skirmisher on a battle like this. I mean, look at this. But this is partially because we have not enough main infantry for the front line. Assuming we got those 2 new infantry in there, then we have just enough skirmishers for them, and then the cavaliers kind of take care of the flank as well as supporting themselves, and they can extend to different frontages as well. So I don't really know what's smarter, but this is my understanding of things. An urban militia lived, but I think he's going to basically count as dead, and this is going to become mine. Thus, stopping them from achieving their objective. We went up 2 in the decadence ranking. That's good. As a glorious monarchy, I kind of hope we make it to the next stage. Emissaries have reached us. Hey, nice! Ethiopia agreed to the mutually beneficial transaction treaty. That's good. So we have cooperation. That will make them like me more over time. And I think also this will hopefully maybe enable trade. I don't really know what enables trade. They might just not have a port, to be honest. Merchants and patricians. A new decision. Can't be triggered as some conditions are not met. I see. Well, save for later then. Do you guys have a port? You know, they don't have a port. That's probably why we can't trade with them. But we have cooperation with them. They're the only ones that like us, so that's good. And I don't think they actually ever owned this. Which means for right now, Ethiopia might be the ones that are winning. Interesting. The health of our ruler has degraded to good in his mid-30s, early 30s. Depends how you look at it. So there's this. Manpower at least equal to 500. 500. Region's population. Too many men want to join the army. The pay is good. Something should be done. Oh, God. Yeah, no, I don't have that problem. What is this? Gods of old religious ceremony. Own capital. Yeah, 12 terms. Okay. Religious ceremonies were already very important in ancient times. Worshipping had a wide range of practices. People were prone to adopt the gods of other ethnicities if this could give them some supposed benefits. So I have some options here. Well, after that battle, 1 pop came from here to here as a slave and went into the food production. Let me move him over to infrastructure for right now. The one we have will just go into food. We'll grow a new pop next turn. And we can't really build anything until we get some infrastructure going, unfortunately. Everything else is progressing as per normal. So the public works is apparently just tracks that connect things for movement. And now we can upgrade that to regional roads if we want a commerce bonus and trade range bonus as well. That sounds pretty useful. Or I could go for that archery that I would want, you know, which would buff up skirmishers, skirmish cavalry, and could apply to archer. And maybe they could create archers for us so we could have an actual front line and rear line and not rely on skirmishers as like this dual purpose thing. I really do want like both of these. A lot of these are actually really, really interesting to me. I feel like I've been investing into everything except military, and our money is fine, our metal is fine, our food is great. Let's go ahead and invest into that archery. Let's get that archery built. We have a stockpile of 44. This takes 45, so we literally already almost have enough. This place is negative on money. I don't think local money matters, but I'll take this citizen. I'll move him over. He's got surprisingly high productivity for someone with so much unrest. I'll move him over to just keep this positive, I guess. That might be good. I don't really know how that works, honestly. That seems like we have another nice full episode, so I'm going to call this one here. We could see many nations on the map. This has just appeared. are growing out of nowhere. They're like expanding. The map's getting colored in pretty quickly, and there's a lot of wars that are happening. We have a long ways to go ourselves, but we're finally turning Saba into something, you know, 14 turns in and a long time to go. Let me know how you guys think this playthrough is going to go, this little noobish playthrough. I have no idea how we're going to like get past this at a certain point. Again, we don't need to conquer everything to win. We just need to win in the legacy rankings. And in terms of legacy, we are number 6, but those ahead of us are way ahead of us. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.